Morning, Higher Hope. This is Tuesday, May 19th, and just wanted to just spend some more time with you. Just give you some things that I've been thinking about, and what we are in this week is five things that amaze me, wow me, that give evidence to me that there is a God who is a designer, a God who is a God of beauty and joy. And yesterday we talked about birds, and I know many of you are enjoying the birds at your bird feeders, and so much diversity in that. And just the thing that amazes me most about birds is the flight. Like, how does that happen by accident? Um, it just looks so designed and so beautiful as they take from tree to tree, and just to think that is not that to me that cannot be evolutionary without God. God's got to be a designer of that to have an animal break the rules of gravity in order to live and to guide. And so today I wanted to give you another thing that amazed me, and it's trees. It's our at Higher Hope we have a discipleship model that really focuses on trees. And as I have looked at trees, read some books, Reforesting Faith is another great book on trees. There's just so much design and so much beauty and so much quietness to trees all around us and all sorts of different trees. You start with the roots and just how deep those roots go and how strong those roots are, and how I think that's by design. And you ever try to pull a trunk out of the ground and how tough that is? You can't do it. Not even with some plants, let alone some trees. And so the roots go down deep, and how out of those roots take up nutrients and water to the rest of the tree that flows through the trunk. And those roots are so critical. In fact, the roots sometimes intermingle with other trees in the forest, and that gives even more strength to those trees. That when the storms come, they're not going to pull up as much. So you got the trees, you got the trunk of the tree that just still amazes me. The rings every year. There's a new ring, and each ring is different distances and different, somewhat shapes and different ways it looks, but all because of what happens that year. And there's a story that those rings tell, and just the way that the tree and the bark work itself up to the branches, and then you have all these branches all going up in different directions that just grow, and not even working at it, just naturally from the DNA in the tree. The branches just take root and go out, and then you have the leaves. One of the first sciences that I remember is photosynthesis. How these leaves they start in the let's just say in the spring, and they start coming on the trees, and those in the summer and spring it gets the sunlight and takes in the oxygen and takes in the CO2 and turns it into oxygen, and it creates newness. It sustains our life as humans. And so you got the leaves, and then the leaves turn colors in the fall, and this beautiful just driving through the hills of New York. There's nothing quite like it, and it's this design. Then they fall off, and then the leaves turn into dirt through some amazing processes that way. And so there's the leaves, and then you have just the fruit of the trees. I mean, think about how trees, again, they don't make effort, but they have like apples, and the taste amazing. We go to Reisinger's and get to taste them. There are different kinds of apples, and there's all sorts of different fruits that are inside the fruits are seeds. And the beauty of that gift to us to taste different oranges and figs and pears and peaches. Just a beautiful design. And then we have this thing called maple syrup that comes from trees. This not the Aunt Jemima like in a created in a factory kind of maple syrup, but the real maple syrup that tastes so alive, that comes from trees. And we have so many different um, pieces of the tree. And then what really amazes me is that inside of an apple are many seeds, and inside of one of those seeds has all the DNA and all the possibility of what a tree could be. That one seed planted someplace can grow to become amazing, tall and beautiful, and providing shade, and the birds coming to live in it. And there, and that one seed has everything that tree needs to grow and become what it is. And so trees just amaze me, and I just don't think with all that science and all those pieces and so much more. I'm not even a scientist, and there's so much more to the trees and what they do and how they work, and the way they drink, and the way they take care of us as people, and the things that we get from the trees. There's so much more, and yet we many people believe that it happens by accident. And to me, it's evidence of a designer, of a God who has put trees in the Garden of Eden, and on to even in eternity. There'll be trees. The tree of life will be there, and there's a whole lot of that, of what Jesus teaches through trees and God teaches through trees in Scripture. But there is an amazement to me of trees, and I think it gives evidence to who God is and what He does and the power that He has, and the imagination that He has. So many diversity of trees and different diversity of sizes, and the length of a tree and how long it lives is amazing as well. And so there's just so much, and I hope that it challenges you to just to see, to look, and to see, even driving by a tree, as simple as it is, and as we get used to it, and yet if we saw one for the first time, how amazed we would be with it.